Arthur Melo to Arsenal was in major doubt tonight. In the past 24 hours, two conflicting reports, but both with the same end result, cast a massive cloud over whether or not this deal will get done by the end of the January transfer window. We're also going to take a look on tonight's late night Done Deal show into the rumours that Niklas Sule could be on his way to Chelsea Football Club in the summer on a free transfer after the club and the representatives of the centre-back had conversations throughout the course of January, and Tottenham's bid for Luis Diaz has been rejected, but talks continue. All that and much more on the Done Deal show. Hit that like and share button. Let's go. Welcome back to the terrace. Thank you one and all for tuning in. Really do appreciate it massively. We haven't done a late night stream outside of match reactions for a while, so very happy to be here. There's so much transfer news at the minute. I just decided I've got to do more than 2 streams a day over. I normally, like when it's an international break or something, I like to take a little bit of a breather and sort of just recover my voice a bit and everything else, but it's transfer window, can't do that, got to be here for each and every single one of you. And there's 3 big updates tonight to talk about, tune into, and have a conversation about. Arthur Melo to Arsenal, could it be off? We of course heard from Dean Jones yesterday, a further update from David Ornstein, and it doesn't really matter which of the 2 journalists you want to believe. The truth, the club's truth, Juve's truth, my truth, your truth. If he doesn't turn up, he doesn't turn up at the end of the day. We're going to be looking at, I think it's pronounced Sule, right? Niklas Sule. Very talented Bayern Munich player. Contract running out in the summer. According here to Adam Newson of Football_London, big Chelsea correspondent, and Simon Phillips, that Chelsea have been in contact with these representatives this month, and the Blues could firm up their interest in weeks ahead. That looks more like a summer move, but it will definitely relieve a lot of pressure amongst Chelsea fans that are very concerned about losing three centre-backs and 3 defenders over the course of this summer. But the first story we're going to start on is the Luis Diaz news, broke by Fabrizio put this out 4 hours ago, but actually broke about 11 hours ago by the Daily Mail, that Tottenham have tabled a £37 million offer for Luis Diaz, which has been rebuffed or rejected or turned down or still being negotiated, whichever kind of turn of phrase you want to use, but essentially not accepted for the very exciting attacker. Now, there is a release clause of £67 million. Diaz wants to move. He wants to come to the Premier League. So it's whether or not it's whether or not there's going to be the ability to be able to get this over the line. Now, what I've been told this evening after reaching out to a few of the Football Terrace's contacts, and when I say contacts, I'm talking journalists, is that it's expected that Spurs could have a very busy next 3 or 4 days ahead. Now, that echoes everything that the brilliant Dean Jones said yesterday morning. This is Levy's week in January. He almost leaves all the work to this week. As a right little bubble, loves it, enjoys himself, and is hopefully going to pull these deals over the line. Of course, Diaz was a very big Liverpool target this month. Without doubt, I didn't check. I guarantee the Liverpool tier 1 said, no, we're not looking at him at all. We kind of know what they're going to say all the time when there's transfer rumours. But this could be an absolutely huge capture for Tottenham. Him with Adama Traore, which is also, it's a little bit more delayed than people expected, but that looking like it's going to be done. Tottenham also looking at Amrabat. They could bring in 3, maybe even 4 players in the next few days. There is the possibility that could happen. And some very good players in that as well. So it's going to be very intriguing to see how that kind of transpires and how that moves forward. So very intriguing with that indeed. And suddenly, if they just signed Luis Diaz, Amrabat, and Traore, the Tottenham squad just suddenly takes a whole new twist and turn. There's actually a tweet here that's been shared by the Anfield Talk that says Luis Diaz wants to join Liverpool over Tottenham, but it remains to be seen whether Liverpool will make an offer. They ain't making an offer, bro. Do you know what's funny, right? You know, when I was talking earlier on this window about Arsenal and Vlahovic, there's no way Vlahovic will say yes to Arsenal. What if the main places that Vlahovic wanted to go didn't give him the offers he wanted or didn't offer at all? He may have done. So Arsenal had to put themselves in the window, in the picture, in the frame, as it were. So if there was a possibility, they're ready to pounce. And it's what Tottenham are doing here. Tottenham are making progress with this deal. Yeah, they are starting to feel very confident about it. They are. They're starting to feel very, very confident about this being done. They're feeling very confident about this getting over the line. And they have every right to. They have every single right to, especially with Antonio Conte at the helm. So that is certainly a deal that we could see happen in the coming days. Maybe even in the morning, a little bit of an update. And I always know when it's really positive. There's a very good person to follow out there. His name is Paul O'Keefe. He's an FA registered intermediary. One of the most important job roles in transfers now, the intermediary. I actually DM'd him only back in the summer saying, you must be inundated with work. And he just said, I can't, he has to turn most of it down. Because that's all clubs want to do now. It's intermediary. You should just sit there, guys. Just sit there and tweet. And ask for a direct contact for an hour. Ask for an hour of someone like Paul O'Keefe's time to explain what they do. It will change your whole outlook on transfers. You'll stop listening to 90% of the published work and read between the lines. It's like, but what does that actually mean in real life? You know? So he's put that out there, making progress and starting to feel very confident in that deal going forward indeed. Arsenal, though. Arsenal. Yesterday, our very own Dean Jones spoke about Arthur not being convinced if Arsenal Football Club is the right place for him. Now, that flies in the face of a lot of the news that we're seeing come out of the Arsenal camp. The Arsenal camp is very much, they're not too sure about the structure of the loan deal. The Arsenal hierarchy are not overly convinced by the player, as it were. And, you know, Arsenal don't want him with any kind of permanent option where Juve want an 18-month loan deal with an option to make it permanent. I feel, look, the end result is both stories are telling us that he may not come. And if Arsenal lose out on Arthur, they've missed out on Vlahovic. And I know obviously we spoke on Straight Facts earlier on today. This is disastrous for Arsenal as a window. And do you know why it's disastrous? There's no way you can spin this. The people they're trying to sign show you they know that these are the holes that need to be filled to try and push for that top four. That's why they're trying to do it. If they fail and they don't spend the money elsewhere, it's calamitous. And if this deal falls through, and look, I'm always going to have a propensity to believe Dean. I know Dean well. We speak regularly, and I trust him. I also, look, Mr. Ornstein is one of the most credible journalists out there. I would say this, that I've noticed quite a few of the very well connected to Arsenal journalists have pushed the notion of it's Arsenal that are making this difficult. Of course, that will be a better sell to the fans if it doesn't happen that, you know, we didn't want to commit to an 18-month loan deal with an option to buy of 40 million without seeing him for. We don't want another Dani Ceballos. I bet you a journalist writes that. I guarantee you now, ahead of time, Dani Ceballos will be quoted, and they didn't want to commit and put money into a player that ultimately isn't of the standard that you deserve. That's going to be the PR spin. 110% will be the PR theme. Now, I look at it very much along the lines of Arsenal need to pull their finger out. Arsenal need to convince this player to come. Arsenal need to do something to make this player push even harder for this deal. They need to get it over the line. They need these extra bodies. Whether or not what their plan was at the start of the season has become irrelevant. The plan's been, you know, this quote here, Mike Tyson. You know, everybody has a plan to fight me until they get punched in the face. Arsenal's midfield is holy, like a tramp's sock, right? And they need to go and fix this now. If this deal falls through, I ain't putting words into Gooners' mouths, but I know every real Gooner out there, whether they show it on the outside or not are going to be feeling absolutely furious with the club. They are. A man like Alan here, hope you're well, brother, says Josh Smith. All I want is for all I want. I thought you were going to ask for all I want for Christmas. There, a bit more Mariah Carey. All I want for Spurs is one transfer window to put up the asking price of all our top targets and act like a big club. Do not mess about. We always do, but they won't. But that will never happen. I hear what you're saying there, Al. Man, like to hear. Long time no see, brother. I hope you're good. He says, hey, Terry, I noticed only the Mail carried the Athletic story, i.e. Chelsea unrest. Do you think the Athletic story is a bit exaggerated? It's a good point. It's a really good point, and we will see. I would say that transfer news will be dominating a lot of journalist time at the moment. So that could be it. It depends on, if you go back to what was said, it was a senior player's source. A source close to a senior player. If that source is Lukaku's agent, then it's the same story as before. So you might find journalists today went out and found that actually, in all intents and purposes, it was all Lukaku related again, so they decided not to run with it. But I do hear what you're saying there, my bro, and I hope you're very, very well, my friend. I really, really do. Long time no see. I have no faith in Chelsea's board to sign anyone this January. I also have no faith we're going to do anything in the summer. Just going to be reactionary buys. Look, you will buy people. You could be looking at Niklas Sule that we're talking about on today's show. You've got Jules Koundé. Like, you bring in Sule and you bring in Jules Koundé. That's two very good players. And then maybe you just give either Chalobah or Sarr even more game time. I don't think things are as bad at Chelsea as some people are making out, as it were. I just don't think it is. So, for me, from my point of view, I still think Chelsea are in a really good space, if that makes sense. Someone just copied me in here to something from Mr. Percy, John Percy at Telegraph. He says, NFFC have rejected a club record offer for Brentford's. Who are NFCC? Is that Nottingham Forest FC? For Brennan Johnson, and are adamant that he will not be leaving this window. Decision is understood to be unanimous from the Forest board. After multiple bids, they are now considering a closed matter. It's also rejected from Brentford. Sorry, from Brentford. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, he was the guy that did he come on and score? Was he was involved in the Arsenal game? Yeah, very decent talent in terms of what I saw. Thank you for letting me know. My guy Pav here. He's got the car back. Pav's car. Oi. Listen, by the way, I know everyone was giving Pav a little bit of stick, and I had a chat with Z the other day. Look, him and Z were great on the show. Leave off on the banter now. Pav's a big part of the terrace. Why are clubs trying to penny pinch on January deals? Window, everyone always overpays. Nobody wants to let players go mid-season. Look, it remains to be. I understand everybody trying to save a few pennies. It only makes sense if in the end you're willing to pay the full amount. If you penny pinch, and bring nobody in, you're going to create more problems for yourselves. Honestly, if Tottenham don't sign anybody other than Adama, if Arsenal sign nobody, they are letting Manchester United off the hook. Off the hook massively. Honestly, I'll celebrate that like a win. Just one game win. Because if Arsenal were to bring Arthur Melo and a top striker in, I'm scared. If Spurs bring Luis Diaz in, Amrabat and Traore with what they've already got, I'm fearful because Arsenal have been together longer. Their system is working, generally speaking, better. They just need some more older or higher quality in certain positions. Spurs have got a top 4 manager in the Premier League, one of the top 5 managers in the world running their team. And they've already got lots of good players. They're just about to add some more good quality to it. But if they let Man United off the hook, I will be celebrating. I will be so happy. I will be over the moon like you wouldn't believe. Like you would not believe. Like you would not believe. Happy New Year. Honestly, it'll be like Christmas again. It will be like Christmas again. Christmas wrapped up with a little bit of Easter, my birthday on the side, Do you know what I mean? It'll be better than when J.K. Rowling announces the next installment of Harry Potter books, proper ones. None of this fantastic animal stuff. Do you know what I mean? Don't want any of the fantastic animal and Gulliver's Story or whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. I don't want any of that. Don't want any of that. Stephen Hawking's playing the main lead. It's crazy. But there we go. Listen, if anyone wants to come on and have their say, I want to hear from you right now. By the way, everyone watching over on Twitter, thank you. Please retweet. I'm going to look at this now. It's on 3 retweets. How many retweets are we going to get? There's like 30 of you watching. We should easily be on 30 retweets. Don't be stingy. Don't be stingy, my people. Give it a little retweet. No one's retweeted yet. I'm talking to myself. Or come across the Twitter and YouTube. It'd be great. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the like button. Links coming out now for you to come on and have your say. Very, very, I was about to say desperate to hear from you. I am. I love listening to my people. And that's what you are. You're my people. You're my people. Everyone over on Twitch as well. How you doing? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Man like Danny's there. Look, there's his comment. Hope you're good. Hope you're good, Danny boy. Oh, look at that. We had a couple more retweets over there on the old Twitter box. Thank you very much indeed. Man like Nabil, legend and super fan in the house. He says, can you tell me who is doing the valuations for Man United players? Jesse Lingard, 50 million. Can we put some respect on Newcastle? I am impressed. No, listen. I have to say this. I'm not having a dig at Newcastle, but fuck you. Man United have undersold players forever. 3 decades. You can see them there. The whole time. Newcastle United, once upon a time, in Tyneside, wanted 50 million of your British sterling pounds for Longstaff. So drop me out. Drop me out with this nonsense of, oh, I feel really sorry for Newcastle. Man United are being really mean. Really, really mean. No. What's he worth to you? And you know what's interesting? None of you should be second guessing this if you listen to you obviously don't listen to my shows. I don't know. I had this conversation with a good friend of mine who was kicking off about it. I said, have you ever watched my shows? Yeah, I watch all your stuff. You don't. Lies. What dictates player price? Told you about this at KPMG, the leading sports consultants that feed into the clubs. Sporting potential. It's one of the big key factors of player valuation. The potential for Newcastle is you can stay in the Prem. That you can stay in the Prem is worth 150 million pounds minimum. There is also the new American TV deal coming in. The new American TV deal money makes that probably worth somewhere near 180 to 190 million pounds. You want a cut of that? Pay us the moolah. That's all it is. Sporting potential and the riches that come with it. As a United fan, we always used to say there's a Man United tax. Yes, there was. Because Man United buying your players back in the good old days led to trophies, which led to more money. You pay for that. You pay for it. I'll tell you a little story. It'll probably bore you, but I'll tell you anyway. Have you seen those cameras they stick on top of smart cars that drive around taking pictures of people that are parked in the wrong places? I don't know the person that invented the way that all works, but he banked with my old company. And my colleague, Dave Watts, big up yourself, big Leicester fan, was his bank manager. And it was all kicking off one day in the office. They were like, why, what's happened? He said, oh, he's basically wanting to sue the local authorities. So he made them. And all these local authorities in England, the States, Australia, he sold thousands of them, thousands, and made all this money, right? But he didn't know what they were going to use them for. He thought they told him they were going to use it for kind of like a Google Maps type thing, observations and stuff like that. He didn't realize they were going to go around driving, taking pictures of people on yellow lines and then fining them. So he managed to then do this deal. He managed to renegotiate the deal when he got wind of what they were doing, which basically meant he was getting paid the money for those things, but he was then getting a percentage of all the tickets. He transformed these business. The reason it was getting mental is because the managers were like, do you know how much money are going to go for these bank accounts now? hit the jackpot. We used to have targets of growing assets under management, so the amount of money essentially sitting in the accounts and then where that went, etc. So it was like, that's what this is. You could have had those cameras that stick on your car for like £1,000 a piece. But now I know what you're going to use them for and what you're going to make from it. They're £2,000 a piece, and I want 10% of all your revenue. That's how business works. Why are you buying it? What do you want it for? I need to know before I let you have it. Because if you take it away and start making more money off it than me, there's a problem, right? Do you know what I'm saying? So this is all it comes down to. Terry's bored. There's no football being played. Listen, people can poke fun at the stuff I speak about all they want, but I stand by it. Life experience matters. And I think football fans would be more relaxed with football. And I'm sorry to sound like a pompous prick when I say this. Read more and educate yourselves more. The next time KPMG, I'm going to find the most recent one. I'm going to put it in the comments, like pin it to the next one. It is like 120 pages thick, but read it. If you read it and learn it, you will never again be angry about the price of a player. Do you know how enlightened and great I feel when people go, oh, he's not worth 400 grand a week? He is. He is. If you understand how it works, he is. No stress, bruv. Just relax. Where's that saying from? From the Cape Verde Islands. I went on holiday there one time. It was my honeymoon, but I call it a holiday now because I'm divorced. But like they used to say, no stress. No stress. Just relax. That was their little saying everywhere. I loved it. It's my way. Especially after Monday, I can't have any more stress because if my new hair transplant falls out, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. I will. Big up Prime. Hope you're well, my friend. Right, we're going to get some callers on that. I'm going to bring you all one at a time, but leave you all on. Might be good fun. Might be, might not be. I don't know. Oh, by the way, I got sent a shirt today. What do you all think? It's from Boohoo, right? So we're getting ready for next Boohoo show. Look at this, right? What do you think? Look at this label still on it. It's a bit tight for me though. I tried it on, right? This is large and it was tight. By the way, I am very proud though. It wasn't tight around my stomach. It was around the shoulders and chest. You know what I'm saying? Gains, right? So it was if you're a geezer, you want to be tight around the chest and the arms and the shoulders, not the belly. Do you know what I'm saying? Same with your trousers. You don't want the ankles tight and the groin area baggy. You want the groin and you know what I mean? Thick. I'm all right like that. Do you know what I mean? I'm good. Big legs, right? What I'm saying here is, do you like this stuff? We've got a bit of new clobber coming. I'm going to kit out all the guys next Friday for the next watch along, which is Boohoo Man covered. Keep your eyes out. We've got some big discounts on a lot of their clothes. I quite like it. I like the color. I also got a very similar hoodie, and I got them to send me lots of gym stuff. You see, because some nice tight spandex, proper tight spandex. For when I lose a bit more weight, I can't wait to wear it. You know what I mean? Get the new hair, the tight spandex on, getting my next sleeve done. I'm 36 and having a midlife crisis, aren't I? That's what this is. This is my midlife. I'm going to buy a motorbike as well, I think. Right, let's bring Brandon on to have his say with us now. Big Arsenal fan. Terry, Jess was very unprofessional today. Listen, let me just speak about that. Thank you for I love the terrace. Look, me and Jess just had a spat on camera. It happens. We're cool. It's good. It is what it is. And it is what it is. And I was frustrated. So was she. That's life. We move, but thank you very much. And Jess will be on the Bet Victor show this week, and she'll be back on the show next week. I've had people going, "Are you going to get rid of her now?" No, we're grown ups. That these things happen. Right, Brandon's on the show now to have his say. How you doing, mate?
Mate, with that shirt, all you need now is an axe and a pair of Timberlands, mate. Lumberjack Terry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bought it, and I was like, you know what? I might wear like a t-shirt underneath, nice pair of, and then I put it on. I was like, I have to. If I do, it doesn't do up on the chest. It's like this. Like the buttons are like this. But you know what I mean? It's that 42-inch chest, bruv. Nothing I can do about it. But how are you?
They're man boobs, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, not muzzle. When I run now, it's crazy. Half a deal could be off. Give me your thoughts, mate.
Not bothered, mate. Not bothered one little bit. The thing is, Terry, is it's kind of laughable, really, isn't it? Because I don't get mad about this sort of thing anymore because we've got a new regime, but this has been happening with Arsenal for years, even going back to the Arsene Wenger days. You know, we get ourselves into a position where, you know, you're starting to think like the club's moving forward and that. You know, this season we have an opportunity to qualify for top four. and all we need is to bring in a couple of decent players in a transfer window, and the club just stands still. You know, you remember that year that Leicester won the league. If we'd have signed a decent striker to go alongside with the signing of Petr Cech, we might well have won the league. So I haven't, it's not changed, mate. I'm seeing the same thing over and over and over, and it doesn't matter who's in charge. It's just the same thing. But yeah, it's just laughable, mate, because it's pretty obvious we chased Vlahovic for 24 days with no real backup plan. We honestly thought like he was coming, and the best analogy for me would be we thought we could go back to putting on the big boy pants, but we're still pissing the bed, mate. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we thought we could go back to being that big club again. And players nowadays, right, especially young players, and Lee says this quite a lot. Anybody who's sort of younger than 26, around my age, hasn't seen Arsenal win a league title or anything. So all these young players that, we're signing, they don't really tend to look. They will look a little bit at history, and of course they'll look at the size of the club and the stadium and the fan base and stuff like that. But players nowadays, they want you to be able to guarantee them Champions League football alongside money, alongside, the fact that he's probably also looking at, is this manager going to improve me as a player? He's probably also looking at the scenario with some of the top players that we have at the club, like, for example, Aubameyang. He's been chucked out of the team, completely exiled, and the guy scored the majority of our goals for the past 3 seasons. Pepe, our most expensive signing, and Arteta, he doesn't use him. So this guy's probably also looking and thinking, do you know what? Do I really want to go to Arsenal where I could potentially ruin my career? Because it seems to me like any player that's got a little bit of an ego, Mikel Arteta falls out with them, and there's no way back for them.
Yeah, mate, I totally get the challenge, and as I was trying to say on Straight Facts earlier on today, I would be frustrated. Like, you've got to look at what Spurs are doing as an example. They may not pull it off, but they're trying to sign Amrabat, very talented player. 25 years of age, good solid player, can come in. He's going to be relatively cheap right now in the market. Hadara, Zakaria, Camara, all available. They could all be got. I'm annoyed at Man United for not getting at least one of them in. We know we need to improve that area. I don't really want to see Matic. I don't really want to see Fred. I don't really want to see McTominay. We may still do it because if Donny leaves, Martial leaves, and Lingard goes, but we don't bring anybody else in, we've just weakened our squad going into we shouldn't even be in a top 4 race if we were run properly, but we are. And if we let those 3 go, you will see the same energy for me I'm putting towards Arsenal. You guys should be going out and saying, right, forget what the plan was for a moment. What do we need right now? Because you could be a year ahead of yourselves, 2 years ahead of yourselves. If you bought right this month, you could make that top 4 sooner rather than later, giving you that extra pull for players, that extra money to invest in people. Maybe even just an extra bit of belief from certain people that are like, oh, do you know what? He might be the right guy. We were 8th 2 years running, and he's now got us into 4th. We overtook these players. It gives a sense of direction and what's the word I'll be looking for? Standards from the club. We've seen an opening. If you were sitting 6th, improved sitting 6th, but you were 15 points away from 4th, I can understand not going into this market this month and buying anybody. But the situation should dictate a slight deviation from the plan. When an opportunity presents itself to any organization, any business, any person, sometimes you've got to deviate and go for it. And my club's in that situation. Your club's in that situation, and we look like we're sitting on our hands or not prepared to go the extra mile, where the Aston Villas were not in our space. Tottenham even, they left it late, but they're all looking like they're going to do something, and that's what's frustrating for me.
Yeah, see, for me as well, it's like I look at the whole Vlahovic thing, and if we're willing to spend £75 million on a striker, out of the 2 positions that we lack most, which is midfield and striker, you probably have to argue that midfield is our worst area out of the 2. I know Lacazette isn't really scoring goals and stuff like that, but we're desperate for midfielders. So if you're going to drop £70 million on a striker and he decides not to come, why can't you spend that money on a midfielder? And the other thing as well, Terry, right? I don't understand the obsession with going to foreign leagues and getting players in from foreign leagues. Do you know what I mean? Like, I look at Liverpool and how they rebuilt under Klopp, for example. They brought Premier League proven players. You know, they went to the teams in within the Premier League or teams that just got relegated from the Premier League, and they took their best player, like
Mm.
Robertson, Mane, Van Dijk, even Salah, even though he was at Roma, he'd had Premier League experience before. So I don't get this obsession with going to foreign leagues, buying in foreign league players who you don't really know whether they're going to settle well into the league or not. If you go into the Premier League and you buy a Premier League player, they're already used to the league. So I'm looking at the likes of Ruben Neves, even Douglas Luiz, Thomas Soucek, Bissouma. There's options there.
McGinn, all these players are
Yeah.
better than both our midfields. And forget, Partey in Spain was a level above them all, but he ain't in Spain. So it becomes, Diego Forlan at Villarreal wasn't the same Diego Forlan at Man United. So they're almost different people in that regard. Now, I totally hear what you're saying there, bro. We're going to bring some more callers in. Go on, mate. Sorry, go on.
Just quickly, I already know what the plan is anyway, Terry. We're hearing about this new contract for Mikel Arteta, and I'm just going to give a little scenario to you all here. Transfer deadline day comes. Arsenal have failed to sign a midfielder. Arteta's new 2-year contract is announced, but his role has changed to player manager. That's the new midfielder, mate. That's what's going to happen.
Someone said to me the other day, I asked him around, I said, he's gone to America to ask for transfer funds. And my friend, again, he's not on social. He just went, no, he hasn't. He's gone to America to get his new deal. And I was like, that makes a lot more sense, go and speak to them and everything else. But we'll see. But we're going to throw in some more callers there. Fator is on the show now. Big Chelsea fan. What are you saying, mate?
Yeah, good, man. Good.
What are you here to say, bro?
Just Sule stuff, man. I'm not really fussed about it, to be fair, because I just think that he's an injury prone, man. And by the end of the season, we're going to lose Christensen, we're going to lose Rudiger, possibly Aspilicueta to Barcelona. But at the end of the day, I think Sule is not the type of player that we're looking for, because I feel like he's too slow. I think he's not going to manage well in that Premier League, in my opinion. And he's also clunky, in my opinion. But I feel like we want to go the type of player like Koundé in the market. But then we got like 5 days now, but we haven't signed anyone. We literally missed out Robin Gosens going to Inter Milan. Then we missed out Luca Digne going to Aston Villa. I think that left back, we need to sort out that first before going to the centre backs, man. Because I feel like we're gonna get caught out too many times if we play Marcos Alonso this season.
Mate, it's going to be very, very interesting indeed to see what happens. You go to a lot of the games. What's the kind of mood like at the stadium at the moment? Because obviously you've got all the stuff that's now coming out with some of the attackers not being happy, and then you've got the news of 3 or 4 defenders wanting to leave. Like, what's the atmosphere like at Stamford Bridge? Because I know you're a regular home and away fan.
It's a mix of opinion, because I feel like some of the match going that I've known really well, not really fussed about our attacking players, because I feel like they don't really care if something happens going on behind the scene. They just want to see some players to perform, for the likes of Mason Mount to perform. Any of our attacking players, it doesn't matter who, Lukaku, or it can be anyone. Literally, our attacking players this season have been poor, and the fact that I literally almost going for about 40 games this season, it's very frustrating a lot, because I just feel like we just need a solution to sort out. And the mood inside the stadium, there's it's like 60% toxicity going on inside that stadium. But apart from that, 40% of the fans, they just want to back the players till the end, pretty much.
I hear you, mate. I hear you on that as well. We're going to bring in Mohammed now. Mohammed is a Liverpool fan. What are you saying, mate? Are you there, Mohammed?
Hello. Yeah, I just want to talk about Luis Diaz. Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why Liverpool probably aren't really going for him straight away is because we have higher priorities. I think because I think we need to get a midfielder in, and Liverpool are probably trying to get midfielders in like we saw with Zakaria as well, and then we've been linked with some player from Fulham. I forgot his name. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I think Liverpool probably wait until the summer for the summer to get Luis Diaz. But if Tottenham put the right money in now, I think they'll go get in.
So my question to you is this: I completely respect that you think you've got other priorities, but we always speak on the terrace about, yeah, ideally you want your first priority, second, third, fourth, position wise. But if you're let's just say Luis Diaz is in the position that is seen as second or third priority, but someone might buy him now, shouldn't you act? Because then, let's say you don't do it, he goes Spurs, and then you get your priority in the summer, you get your second priority. Oh, we're going to go for the third. Oh, I can't go for the third priority because he's already gone somewhere else. Like, shouldn't your club act now and spend your summer money in January to bring in one of your main targets?
That's true, but FSG don't act like that. They very rarely spend in January. The only time they spent the money in January is when we brought Van Dijk. So that's the only reason why I see us probably getting him in the summer if Tottenham don't make the right bid for him now. It's just the way it is, because these midfielders we're looking at are only going to cost, is what I've heard, going to cost Liverpool like only 5-10 million. So yeah, FSG don't like to spend that much in the January transfer window.
I hear you on that, bro. We're going to bring in Nabil. Nabil's here with us now. What you saying, bro?
Hey, can you hear me?
Perfect, my friend. What's in your mind?
Awesome. So the reason I said you have to put respect on Newcastle because it's the intent, right? United and Arsenal does not have intent. You can make a movie out of it where like how to kill your club, how to kill your. There's 1,000 ways to kill your club, and they are doing that way. Like each and every step they're taking is just bad. The intent from the owners doesn't show. That's why the players are not even trying. Like you have seen the matches, they're not even trying. They complain about having a second training, or they have to drive in the like at night. Like, dude, I work. I used to go to the airport at 3 a.m. to take a flight to go to the client side. Right? It's the intent. And these players are millionaires, and they're still complaining about, oh, they have to drive at the night. Like what's all this about? The main reason, and every fan should focus, and this goes to Arsenal as well, is keep your standards high. Chelsea, Liverpool, and City can bender us because their club are being run properly, as where Arsenal, Man United are not running properly, and that is because of the fans and fans only, because you drop your expectations every freaking time and buy into the PR saying there's no man. Previously, let's say 10 years ago, there was no money in the market, value in the market, sorry. Now what they're saying, oh, we need to buy a certain player that balance our team. That's what I'm hearing from Twitter accounts right now. We need to buy a certain key players that balances our team. Every time, if you sign 100 players, there's a chance 60 might not work. Right now, you have a midfielder that can come in, probably will improve, but the chances are they probably will not improve, right? But that's the intent of getting back to where the Man United and Arsenal were. But there is no intent. 100% there is no intent. Even like if you go to, there was a game, right? I think it was Aston Villa, when one of the from the Aston Villa guys got substituted. He had a very bad performance. He was kicking and shouting and all those things. He was putting a drama. But when Fred came out, he was smiling with the horrible performance. I might be wrong. I've seen different game, or like, but that was what I saw. Like after paying so much amount of money to subscription so I can see a game, and after that I see Man United play like that, like literally gives me nightmares. It hurts as a United fan. They don't play with the badge.
I hear a lot of what you're saying, and look, I do get the element of keeping standards high and holding clubs to account. I really appreciate that view and opinion, my friend. Paul here says, Terry, this has already been reported that Diaz would rather wait for Liverpool. Well, what I was told earlier on today when speaking to a journalist is that personal terms are not going to be an issue between Luis Diaz and Tottenham, which means in real life, so again, intermediaries will tell you the truth. Sorry, I sent a message to one of these intermediaries saying it looks like you were right about something, and he just texted me back saying sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, meaning sometimes he's right, sometimes it doesn't go his way. But yeah, so Luis Diaz and Tottenham are going to have no problems with personal terms, which means he isn't going to wait for Liverpool if the clubs agree the deal. So I get your point, but if Porto and Spurs agree the deal, Luis Diaz will be a Tottenham player. So that's my point. Oh, someone here saying Romano said it. Is Romano said it? Okay. Let me. Aha. Hang on. Sorry, hang on. I'm on Romano's page. I'm scrolling down now. When did he say it? Oh, he said it in the thing I read earlier. I didn't even get that far down. I just read the next bit. Okay, cool. Because I clicked on it. Yeah, okay, cool. So he said it as well. So he said it. And I thought I read it somewhere else. A few people are saying it. There we go. Cool. So Fabrizio has said it as well. So I'm not having a pop at you, Paul. Maybe he would prefer. But this goes into the Vlahovic deal thing for me. I know it was a long shot. But when people go, no, 100% he prefers this club over. It's only if Liverpool make the offer. Liverpool ain't trying to buy him. You know, I'm telling you, Arsenal's interest pulled Juve out. Juve may not have moved until the summer if Arsenal hadn't done what they did. And this is what happens sometimes. So, look, I'm not saying he doesn't want to play for Liverpool, but Spurs will get it done. You go on, mate.
Just real quickly, mate. I don't think Liverpool will be interested in Luis Diaz anyway, because I believe that if things don't go well for Arsenal this season, I think you've already seen Klopp's sort of flirting with Martinelli a little bit. I think they might make a move for Martinelli in the summer.
Who? Liverpool?
Yeah, Liverpool. Gabriel Martinelli. You've heard Klopp flirting, with Martinelli a little bit, saying about, he's a great talent and this, that, and the other. And he even said it in his press conference not that long ago when we played him in the League Cup as well. So it wouldn't surprise me.
But the thing about Klopp, he's friendly with everyone, so that could be misleading though, because a couple weeks ago when we played Tottenham, he was being friendly to Son. So I don't think we should read too much into it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I do and I don't. I think there's elements. Sorry, my mate's just sent me a picture. He's had a baby, so I'm just messaging him saying congratulations. He lives over in Thailand, and yeah, well chuffed for him. But I'm just letting him know that he's getting bald. I can see his hair just healing, so I'm just messaging him saying congratulations, all beautiful. But you put your getting bald because he used to tease me at work. I used to work with this guy at Barclays, great guy. One sec, beautiful picture. Brother, no, sorry, I just got to message him. I want to message him. He's a lovely guy, Rio. Absolutely love the geezer. Shame he's not here anymore. It's in the UK. He keeps saying to me, "Oh, you should come move out here." I'm like, bro, I can't move out there. I've got the kids, everything. Do you know what I mean? The business where he lives is mad. Like sometimes in life you have a perception of a certain place because of what you see on TV. Where he lives and the job he has in Thailand, it's amazing, mate. And the money goes so far. Terry is so insecure about hair.
What?
Not really. Listen, you got to remember, this is my boy Rio, who's dug me out because he's younger than me, Rio. He must be about 30 now. So he's about 5-6 years younger than me. And all the time, me and a guy, CJ, I worked with, we're both having a little bit of thinning. And he just used to slag us off all the time because he was young buck. He's not anymore. That's why I always say to you, all these young ones that sit in the comment sections like bald. You do realize like 70% of you are going to go bald. Do you know what I mean?
You do realize when you tune in a couple of months, Terry's going to have an afro.
Mate, I'm going to dye it all blonde, ponytails. I'm going to do it, mate. I might do a Phil Foden and wear do-rag as well. Do you know what I mean? To get some waves or something. Do you see that? Do you know what's crazy, right? When I was growing up, do-rags become like just were a fashion accessory. I used to know people that wore them, and they didn't know what they were like originally for. And it was just kind of normal every day to see everybody out wearing them. You don't really see that anymore. Like even in the States, like every rapper had one on with a cap over the top. It was like a thing. And seeing him with one on today made me die, bro. Made me die with laughter. But there we go. Listen, everybody. No, I'm not going Turkey. I'm getting it done in London. London. And not there's no issue. The ones in Turkey are brilliant as well, most of them. But there we go. Listen, everybody that has tuned in, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you've smashed the like and the share buttons. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following our podcast as well. The links are in the bottom. Every single week it grows on there, which is amazing. Boys, Fatur, Nabil, Mohammed, and of course, Brandon, aka Tommy Yasu's best mate, aka Triggergate. Thank you all for coming on and having your say. Until next